All right, so here it comes, guys. The FUD has begun. For a long time, a lot of people in crypto have predicted that we're going to break the $30,000 mark, and Bitcoin is going to drop to anywhere from 20,000 to 25,000, 27,000, but definitely break through 30 and consistently stay there. So that happened last night. Today's Tuesday, July 20th, and it was last night, Tuesday, July 19th, on a Monday evening, that basically BlockFi had this news come out. Okay, so BlockFi, what happened last night was that BlockFi got an order. So we'll read it right from here. Let's scroll down a little bit. Let's go back up and read the title first. So New Jersey orders BlockFi cryptocurrency firm to stop offering interest-bearing accounts. I hate when they flip my page all around because of these ads, but you get the gist, right? Here's the title of the article. So what happened last night, to break this down, is that New Jersey sent a cease and desist order from New Jersey's Bureau of Securities last night, basically telling them that the accounts were not registered with that office or exempt from registration, and their sale violated New Jersey security laws, right? Essentially, what they wanted to do was what they stopped them from doing was stop offering interest-bearing accounts, okay? These are accounts that are earning somewhere between, let's see the current BlockFi rates that they're offering right now. Boom, boom. This is not my account. I'm not logged in. I don't even know. This is probably just example data. Scroll down. Yeah, so they do basically borrow and lending, and they offer interest on their accounts for lending, and they probably do multiple things to actually get the yield. And the yields have gone down here considerably, right? In the beginning, let's see our rates. In the beginning of the year, they paid some considerable yields. So there we go. BlockFi interest accounts. So they pay some considerable yields, especially compared with the banking system and what banks are offering, which is absolutely fucking nothing right now, right? It's a fraction of 1% currently, and it's probably going zero at some point in the future. So, however, consumers have the ability to put assets in here: BTC, ETH, LTC, Litecoin, USDC, which is, if you don't know, is one of the most popular stable coins. Just basically it's pegged to the dollar, so that's essentially the equivalent of a dollar. And they're offering 7% on that alone, which is fantastic, especially up to the first 50,000, which especially considering what you get in a bank, which is zero, essentially zero. Like I said, a fraction of 1%, which for all intents and purposes is zero and is never going to have a chance to counter the inflation coming and the amount of money printing that has been done to keep and retain your buying power. Not only grow your money, but actually retain your buying power. It has no shot. It's going to get destroyed. They're actually estimating, some smart people are estimating that the dollar is set to lose its purchasing power somewhere between 10 and 20% annually every single year. So what does that mean? That means if you're holding $100,000 in a bank account, cash, getting essentially 0% on it, a fraction of 1% in, let's just say, Chase or any of the banks, well, guess what? A year goes by, you do not have $100,000. You technically on paper have $100,000, but due to the excessive money printing and other factors, and due to inflation caused by that, and other factors as well, you actually are going to end up with, let's split the baby down the middle and say 15%, which is really the number that sticks in my head and I'm hearing the most. So you actually have $85,000 at the end of that year. And that's money that you just let sit in the bank. You didn't lose the 15% in an investment. You lost it to inflation. You lost your purchasing power. So while it's still $100,000 in a number, when you look at your bank account, you will not be able to buy anywhere near $100,000 worth of goods and services for that money. You will be able to buy roughly $85,000. So you lost $15,000 over the course of the year by keeping your money in a bank account. So things like crypto solve this, and BlockFi solves this. Well, they did for New Jersey. They still do for the rest of the country as of right now, but this is just the trend that I see coming. So they're offering real interest rates. How are they able to do that? I don't know how BlockFi in particular is doing that, but I can tell you about decentralized finance and what is happening there in general and how these yields are happening, okay? Because these are yields that traditionally have been scooped up by the banking system, and they're excessive fees, and that's kind of who's reaped the benefits of this. However, with decentralized finance, which BlockFi is not a part of, by the way, BlockFi is very centralized. Despite the fact they're in crypto, they're a very centralized organization. Hence why a politician and a bureaucratic entity could send them a cease and desist, because they have a location, it's in the US from my understanding of it, and they basically can tell them whatever they want. Now, if this was in a decentralized universe, they could do nothing. For example, the stuff that we do on this channel, and I do day in and day in and day out. I don't know where the night came in, but it's probably because it's night outside and that's on my mind. But that stuff can't be touched, right? When you get your money through an on-ramp, like when you take US dollars through an on-ramp and you put it into finance, into crypto, that's step one, right? Let's just say you take your US dollars and you put them into a Coinbase. It's usually where people start. Their fees are excessive. That's not the best place to go. However, let's use that as an example. Could be Gemini, could be a few places, right? Now you turn it into, you bought your first Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin or whatever the first coins that almost everybody buys, okay? Well, now you're in the cryptoverse because you actually own the crypto, technically. It's still in a centralized environment because it's still with the company. You don't own your keys. All you did was change your fiat US dollars for the crypto. Now, just like a Robinhood, it sits in your account and it looks like you own that Bitcoin. But you really don't. You kind of do. It's a custodial relationship, but you don't, in crypto, really truly own your crypto unless you own your keys, okay? So that's a centralized environment. Again, they are subject to regulation. Now, the next step, when you really want to get into decentralization and get out of the system, and this is where the future is going, and it's because of shit like just happened today, right? It's because of shit news like this and overregulation and overreaching politicians and bureaucrats. It's going to decentralization, okay? The next step is, or should be, is to take that same crypto, send it off to a wallet that you set up with either a MetaMask or one of these other. And if I'm losing you, don't worry. I'm going to explain this in other videos. But you want to set it up and send it to a wallet that is in a centralized environment. Meaning, not somewhere that you have to sign up, do KYC, and all of that. You're basically going to send it to MetaMask is the preferred one, but there's a ton of different options. There's Trust Wallet. There's a lot of different ways you can go, where you basically sign up, create your wallet, keep your phrase, password. You keep that very safe on your own. You're in control of it. There is no entity to reach out to if you lose it. So you want to be very careful with that. But now you have it in that environment. You send the crypto from the Coinbase wallet, from your Coinbase establishment, which is centralized, to your hardware wallet or your software wallet, either one, which is decentralized, meaning it exists outside of the financial system, okay? And then things like this can't happen. And now what you can do there is you can get some amazing yields. I mean, these look impressive when you're comparing them to what you can get passively from bank accounts right now, from the banks. These are very impressive because this is impossible. And these used to be a lot higher, like I said at the beginning of the year. However, these, I would never do any of these, honestly. These are way too low. What we do here is we generally try to shoot for at least 100% APY. Okay, so annually I want to double my money. And it is very, I'm not going to say it's very easy to do. You have to know how to do it. There's a bit involved in it, but it's very practical. Let's say that, right? That's what we're on pace for this year. It's very, very practical to do. You can actually get way above that potentially if you play it right and you time the market right. You can do double, triple that. That's actually possible. It's been done many times before. I've done it many times before. But we're looking as a goal to get at least 100% growth on our money. That is actually phenomenal when you factor in compounding interest. So, and again, it's outside the system. So news like this, it's going to keep coming. You're going to keep seeing this kind of FUD and this kind of thing happen. And it's really, I'm outside of the system already. This is basically people that are fighting between government bureaucracy and crypto centralization, which is great, which is important, which is a piece of the puzzle. I mean, there's a lot of people who don't know how to control their own wallets and protect themselves and safely keep their keys, but that's what we teach. That's what I teach on this channel. That's what I make a goal of teaching everybody I know how to do. Because once you do that, this is all nonsense. This is noise. This doesn't affect you, and you're getting much better yields than you could ever get in a centralized environment, right? So I just find this news, this brand new news, just kind of foolish, honestly. When you really can see through it, you see what's happening is they're scared shitless. The banks are scared shitless. And the banks, at least in the U.S., are tied in to our politicians, to our regulatory bodies, and it's all one big group that fucks most people, so they can't win. And it's just a broken system, and that's why Bitcoin was established, and that's why decentralization is taking over and going to eat traditional finance. It's going to take some time, but it's well on its way. So if you want more information on this, make sure you do a few things. Like and subscribe to this channel. Click that little bell so you get alerts, because sometimes this is news that's not a big factor once you follow the methodology that I'm teaching. However, sometimes there's going to be some critical news that comes out that you have to make sure you're on top of. I mean, even this, if you live in New Jersey, this is something that you should know in a timely fashion so you can know how to react to it and what to do next. And by the way, if you do live in New Jersey, leave a comment below. I will tell you, I will respond and I will tell you exactly what to do, how to move your money into a decentralized environment if you happen to be using BlockFi or one of these centralized places that they're going after. Again, New Jersey is overreaching. New York is overreaching. Those are the two worst states as far as crypto is concerned. And just as far as finance is concerned, honestly. They've been this way for many, many years, even before crypto. So that's all I got for today. Some crazy news. The best thing you could do if you've already been into crypto and you kind of got your feet wet for a little bit and you're investing in tokens, well, guess what? Go the next step. Get decentralized. Get out of the system so this noise doesn't even phase you at all. You've beat the system. You have better yields. You actually have phenomenal yields. And listen, these yields are not going to last forever. As this goes mainstream over time, well, we have a few years, but as this gets mainstream, these yields are going to go down. These yields are not going to stay at 100%. I'm not going to be able to. I don't think I'm going to be able to consistently get 100% annual return on my money over the next bunch of years. I just don't. I'm being practical. It's very early, which is why the opportunity exists. Okay. So again, like, subscribe. Do not forget, I'm going to put out videos every 1 to 2 days from now on, and some of them are going to be very timely. Some of them are going to have very good information. Take it easy.